Look at this beautiful project made with a wine glass from the dollar store.
Hey friends, let's make a fun little project today. This could be for so many different ways. It could be just for your own table, for your own party. This will look adorable for a sweet 16, for a wedding, any type of party decor that you want to add a different touch to it. I am using wine glasses from the dollar store. The reason why I like them is because the glass is pretty thick, so I don't have to be afraid of being too gentle, too fragile, that it might break. A paintbrush of any kind, acrylic paint of any color of your choice, that's entirely up to you. Glitter if you want, it's not a must, and painter's tape. I'm going to show you two options of doing this, and for one of the options we are going to use rose petals. Okay, any kind, any color, it's entirely up to you. I prefer when my rose petals open up and I could cut them as far down as possible, because that's how we are going to be using them. We're going to cut them down. We're not going to use just a rose.
So we're going to start by measuring 1.5 inches from the edge, the top edge of the glass. And for this, you can use a pencil, a washable marker, anything that you prefer to make just a line that we can follow. Once we have marked it, then we're going to go ahead and use the painter's tape to go all around it. Making sure that we keep going straight, and I'm focusing more on the line that I marked, and then the top part of the tape, it doesn't really matter. We're going to paint the bottom part of the glass and the stem, so I chose this pretty lilac, and I'm just going to go ahead and paint. I started making the stem with the purple and then realized that, you know what? I think I want to make it a different color. So I went ahead, got me some green paint, and I didn't have the right shade. So I just mixed two greens together until they gave me more of a spring type of green. And I went ahead and painted the stem and the bottom of the glass. For the technique that I'm using, I did the one coat, dried it, and then I went ahead and did the second coat. I chose to only put glitter on the purple part of it. So on my second coat, I didn't need to dry it, but I wanted to make sure that my lilac paint was wet and the green one was dry, so that my glitter would only stay on the purple part. And there we go. We are adding our glitter. And because the green is dry, I know for sure it's not going to stay. One little suggestion, because we're putting petals, it is best not to put the glitter all the way down where the glass ends and the stem starts. The petals glue a little better if there is no glitter, but we made it work anyway. So we go ahead and do the second glass, and we measure it just the same way, mark it the same way, and use our tape to mark it. I left 1.5 inches from the top of the glass to where I wanted to start painting. You can leave more if you wish. These are really cute to use with candles. I do suggest using battery operated candles so that maybe the real candle will leave some black around the glass. I know I wouldn't like that very much. So here we go. We're doing the stem again. Now, because I'm not using glitter on the second glass, I did notice that it is best to do 3 coats of paint to make sure that it's uniform and let it totally dry in between the coats. Once it's dry, you can go ahead and remove the tape. And look how pretty. We just completely changed the look of our glass. So my rose was dipped in the same glitter that I used. So we're just going to go ahead and remove the stem and the greenery and take all the petals apart. In between the petals, you have this little plastic piece. So make sure you take that off. And then I started with the smaller petals, and I started about 1 inch up from the stem and started gluing around. And this is what I was saying. If there was no glitter there, it would have been a little easier to glue it, but we made it work. My petals were small enough that I could do it 2 at a time until I got to the end where I just cut the single. So you just measure what you want. And then I started a second row with larger petals. I did 3 rows of petals. You can do more if you want to. You can also use different colors in between, like have 2 colors. And look how pretty it's looking already. So now the last row of petals, I went right onto the stem. And glued them around. And once they were dried and totally secured, then I curled up the petals a little bit. Went ahead and added some leaves. And again, you can put as many as you wish. Once those were dried, I used some green floral tape just to hide the glue spots that I used for the petals, just like so. And look how pretty. Hope you come back soon.